Welcome to this video tutorial where we'll teach you how to use the various procedures, functions, triggers, control structures, transactions, and error handling found in databases. In this case, we'll be using MySQL and phpMyAdmin. For this, we will need to free XAMPP application, which is what will allow you to use your database. First, we'll launch the XAMPP control panel. Once it's open, we'll use it to start a patch server. Then start MySQL and then select admin. Your browser will open phpMyAdmin. Here we'll see your test databases and the program various objects. The procedures are groups of SQL statements and the flow control instructions. Once we create these procedures, they are stored on the server, waiting for them to be executed by a script or program at any time. Next, we will see an example of a procedure. Well, go to the SQL tab where we'll enter the necessary commands. Let's start by telling it which databases we are going to use. We'll continue it with the delimiter command, which allows you to define blocks of code containing multiple statements. You can use a double / or a double $sign. Now we will create the new procedure using the create procedure command, followed by the procedure name. Below it, the begin command, and inside it, we'll use the statements we want. Now, a select with hello world, and we'll rename the select. We'll close with end, followed by the double / and then close the delimiter. When we click continue, your first procedure will be created. We can see it in the Databases Procedures tab. From the Procedures tab, we can modify them as we wish. To call them, we'll use the call command plus the procedure name. When we click continue, we'll see the result. Functions, like stored procedures, are routines that allow you to encapsulate transact SQL statements that are frequently executed to favor modular programming, faster code execution, reducing the network traffic use, etc. We distinguish two types of functions: scalar functions that return a single value and a single data type, and inline functions are those that return a table. Next, we will see examples of functions. We'll use the test table. Go to the SQL tab and write the relevant commands. In the first function, we'll count the number of elements in a table in your databases. As we see in the code, we specify with the return command the information that we need the function to return to use. Before continuing, make sure everything is correct. In the returns command, you must indicate what type of data is should return. In the second function, we tell you whether the number we enter is even or odd. To call the function, we will use the select command, followed by the name of the function and enter the parameters that the function needs. In this case of the function being even or odd, we will add a number and it will return a 0 if it's not an even and a 1 if it is. In the other function, you don't need to introduce a parameter. They return the total products in the table. Triggers. Trigger is a special type of storage procedure that runs when data is inserted, deleted, or deleted from a specific table. They are automatic, and server provides two types of triggers. DML executes when users executes an insert, update, or delete statement, and DDL executes when a user performs a data definition language operation, such as create table, alter table, or drop table. We go to see some examples from triggers. First, we use the create trigger command. We specify when it should fire, when values are inserted, and what it should do when it fires. We'll create another trigger when values are updated. We'll use the insert command with the values command to add values and see if the trigger worked. And we'll do the same with the update command. Variables and control structures. In MySQL, you can use different types of variables: local variables and global variables. The local variables, you can define it using the reserved word declare, and the control structures are a group of reserved words that the system uses for some actions in the code. For example, you can use a loop when you use the reserved word while, or you can use the if-else if you need to try different options. Now we are going to see two examples where we are going to see how the declarations of variables and the control structures work. In one procedure, we enter an input parameter, a number from 1 to 7, and it returns the day of the week. When you call the procedure, you put in the parameter the number, and the procedure returns you that day of the week is. The other, we enter a value, and it creates as many entries in the table as there are values between your value and 1. In this procedure, we can use the truncate table for create a clean table for the exercise. Transactions. The transaction is a set of operations that are executed as a single block. If a transaction is successful, all data modifications made during the transactions are confirmed and become permanent part of the databases. Let's look at the following example. We start with some possible errors that, if they occur, will be rolled back so they don't affect the databases. Then we'll insert the command start transaction, defining which tables it will use, and finally the update and commit commands confirm the change. We insert the values from the databases. Let's start with the transaction. The first option has no errors and is executed correctly, so the error will show 0. The next option will fail because it doesn't exist, a 1 in the error. The last one fails because it was already selected in case 1, another 1 for the error. Finally, we can see that the databases has been modified. Error management. SQL Server provides different types of error control. Try and catch statements with the global variable double add error, handling errors, or command raise error. In the last example, we can see one of these error management. In this example, we can see the command declare exit handler for 1062 error. This error is for when you insert a new value and is the same ID than other in the databases. We can see when you introduce a new value, the program returned 0. There is a good value. When you introduce a wrong value, the databases return 1 and is the error.